Are you an artist who's wanted to know how to get on the UK music charts? Have you ever wondered what the requirements are, or if it's even possible for independent artists like you and me to chart? Well, if that sounds like you, then keep watching. Because today, we're going to take a look at the eligibility requirements and look at some facts and figures to see how you can get your music on the official UK music chart. Let's blast off and get started. JM in your universe. Konnichiwa friends, I'm Jonathan Miller and welcome back to Jonathan Miller Music, helping you become a better indie artist. I make dance pop music and every Wednesday on this channel I'm helping others take their music to level 2. If that sounds good, consider subscribing and ringing the notification bell. If not, oh, okay, I'm gonna try to help you out, but you don't wanna help me out. That makes sense. You know, whatever, I'm not hurt. I'll just remember this moment next time I go to do a research project for a YouTube video. You know, like next week when we talk about how to get on the ARIA charts. What? Think about that. All right, so yes, today we are gonna be talking about how to get on the official charts in the UK. Thank you to everyone who has requested this video. I appreciate your patience, and I'm obviously American, so this took a little bit of time and research. Let's just jump right in though. So getting onto any major music chart is a huge feat and a big dream for many, many artists. But sometimes it can feel like this faraway thing only reserved for major label and big name artists. But that's actually not the case, as many of you know who've seen my video on how to get on the Billboard charts. Now, luckily for us independent artists, the UK is much more transparent about how to actually get on the charts as opposed to Billboard. Thank you. You see, getting on the UK charts is all about making sure that your music is chart eligible, that your release is properly registered, which is actually slightly easier in the UK than it is here in the US, as you'll find out in a second, and that your music is sold through chart reporting retailers. Remember as well that only sales and streams made from within the UK count toward your chart eligibility. I mean, this is a UK-based chart after all. All right, here's what you gotta do. Step 1, obtain a UPC and ISRCs for your music. The first step in trying to get on the UK charts is making sure that your music is properly identifiable. So whether you're releasing a single or a full album, you will need a universal product code or barcode for your body of work, but you will also need individual international sound recording codes for each of your songs. However, all physical formats of your album, deluxe version, standard version, vinyls, etc., will all need separate UPCs, according to the chart rules. Without a UPC or ISRCs, your music will not be able to be tracked. And this is true pretty much worldwide. That's why they're called universal product codes and international sound recording codes. Also, if you're choosing to distribute your music video, that will also need its own ISRC as well. Now, UPCs and ISRCs can easily be obtained from your music distributor, which will oftentimes include those for free with the price of your distribution. If you don't want to use those, however, you can obtain a registrant code from your own country's ISRC official website. Link to the US and UK ones are in the description, and then you'll be able to create your own. Now, before we move on to step 2, you need to make sure that the places you're going to be distributing your music to report their sales data to Kantar Media Group. I'm hoping with my American accent that I'm saying that right. Consider Kantar the Nielsen SoundScan of the UK, in which they are the company responsible for collecting sales data and then giving that information to the official charts, which then uses that data to determine their weekly chart ranking. Now, to my knowledge, all of the major music platforms like Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, all report their data to Kantar. So if you're distributing your music there, you should be okay. Now, if you're not 100% sure and you want to double check, you can always email that platform directly and ask. Now, if you're self-distributing and you're not using a platform like DistroKid or TuneCore, you yourself will need to contact Kantar directly with all of your release details. Step 2, verify your eligibility. Remember how I said the UK charts are all about whether or not your music is chart eligible? This is really true, because if you don't comply with the chart guidelines or you try to game the system, you will be disqualified. Now, luckily, their full requirements are available in PDF form for download right on the official charts website. Also, luckily for you, I spent a good amount of time being Hermione Granger and combed my way through all the chart eligibility rules to bring you some important highlights that I think are worth noting. Now, if you're familiar with charting at all, a lot of these rules are the same internationally. Anyway, if you're trying to get on the UK singles chart, you cannot buy or stream multiple copies of your own song. It needs to be a genuine fan interaction. No buying your song 10 times and then giving it to all your friends. Also, there can only be a maximum of 3 singles by the same artist in the top 100 at one time. Now, if you're trying to get on the UK albums chart, video streams do not count towards the album charts. So that's a little different from Billboard. Also, deluxe or alternate versions of your album must contain at least 60% of the original content on the standard version. The other 40% of your content can be replaced audio or alternate versions of songs like a remix or an acoustic version. Your deluxe version can also be 100% of your standard version with any of the extras that you want to put on. Now, like I said, the full PDF of chart eligibility rules is available if you're really worried and want to look through it yourself. I've put a link in the description so you can do so. Now let's jump to step 3. Step 3, set up a pre-order period at least 6 to 8 weeks away. If you've seen my videos for how to get on the Billboard charts, you know that any sales made during your pre-order period count toward your first week's sales total. This is the same for the UK music charts. The first week of your release is the most important and best chance you have for charting on any music chart. So if you're independent, it's super important to set one of these up to give yourself the best shot possible. However, there are a few things to note about pre-orders and pre-saves for the UK. Pre-saves for a new single are absolutely okay as long as the song cannot be played at all until it's released. Now, most pre-save campaigns are kind of like this anyway, but it's still important to note because if you do one where a person can listen to it ahead of time, again, that will disqualify you. Now for your album, if you're giving away instant gratification tracks with the purchase of a pre-order for your album, be aware that those songs will not be eligible for chart placement on the singles charts for those downloads. However, if someone purchased those songs separately from your pre-order and by themselves, then they won't be disqualified. So keep that in mind. Step 4, promote, promote, promote. As you might have guessed, this is going to be a common step for any charting attempt that you make. During your pre-order campaign, you'll need to promote your album a lot. You'll need to promote your album as much as you can to try and get those pre-saves and pre-orders. Create hype for your record and drive sales. Remember, any sale made during your pre-order period counts toward your first week's sales total. And the higher your sales equivalent total, the higher you could potentially chart. So utilize your social media, utilize your email list, be creative, and create a buzz. And step 5, make enough equivalent sales. This is the most important goal and the most obvious one. Now, unfortunately, and unlike Billboard, I don't have an exact number sales total that you need, but I did do some digging to give us an idea of what that number could be. The average UK top 40 single made around 8,000 equivalent sales, with the #1 song making about 100,000. Now, that's just for the top 40. It could be much less for lower chart positions and for genre-specific charts. Now for the albums charts, the average was about 4,000 equivalent sales, with #1 reaching about 60,000. Now, I know those numbers seem really large, but I don't want you to be discouraged. Remember, charting anywhere is a gigantic feat that should be honored and celebrated. And actually, making equivalent sales in the UK is a little easier than it is here in the US. And here's why. You only need about 100 to 200 streams to equal 1 digital download sale from a user who has a premium subscription to a given platform, like Spotify. If they're not a premium user, you'll need at least 600 to 1,200 streams to equate 1 digital download. If you've seen my Billboard videos, you know that that's quite a bit less. So it's kind of nice to have this metric. Now, knowing this info, it would take about 400,000 premium streams of an album to potentially crack the top 40. Obviously, this can vary week to week depending on competition, but it's something to try and strive for. And then after that, you can check back on Friday when new charts are released to see if you charted. So remember your steps. Obtain a UPC and ISRCs for your music, verify your chart eligibility, PDF link in the description, set up a pre-order at least 6 to 8 weeks away, promote, and make around 4,000 equivalent sales for the albums chart. So with all of that info, I wish you the best of luck, and don't forget to check back in the comments and let me know where you made your UK music charts official debut. So that is my video on how to get on the UK official charts. Question of the video, are you gonna try to get on the UK charts? Leave me a comment below letting me know. If you haven't already and you wanna check out my videos on how to get on the Billboard charts, I've left some links in the description so you can do so. And if you like me and you like what I do, consider joining me on Patreon like Melanie here and all these fantastic people to help this channel grow and get all sorts of fun rewards like access to my YouTube calendar to see what's coming to the channel. But as always, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on it and subscribe if you're new. I put out new videos every single Wednesday. Once again, I'm Jonathan Miller, and I will see you next time. See you later.
I am a machine, not a robot, not an operation electronically. My messages are magnetic vibrations, once a pioneer.